We have Grandmaster Vincent Keymer coming to the game along with his girlfriend Stephanie. Vincent has had a very interesting event here. He hasn't lost a single classical game, 5 draws, but 5 losses in the Armageddon. And today he takes on the world champion Gukesh and also someone with whom he has worked at the world championship. You know, Gukesh is someone he had helped, and Gukesh, of course, just avoiding all the interviews and everything there, getting into the board early. He scored a very nice win in the previous round against Pragnananda, so he does feel himself in good shape right now, and today would be a crucial game against Vincent Keymer if he manages to win here or even hold his opponent to a good draw with the black pieces. That should be a good result. Meanwhile, Vincent Keymer doing his interviews there and getting ready for the game. It's always someone who is in good spirits, and look at that smile on his face. It's amazing to see. Until now, in classical chess, there have been draws between Vincent and Gukesh, but Gukesh has had 3 wins and Vincent has had no wins. So that is something that Vincent may want to set straight. It will be interesting to see if today Gukesh is able to score another win, or will Vincent pull one back. The players are ready, a handshake, and we are ready to go. Vincent opens the game with pawn to d4. And Gukesh, I guess, will go knight f6. That's what he's been doing here. And now knight to f3 played, bringing the knight out, and pawn to d5. Well, there's also e6, but d5 is more flexible because you keep the bishop coming out open. And c3. This move is very interesting because if you go c5, you can play the sharp line. But otherwise, you just e6 played by Gukesh, and you're now going to play the London system against e6. There's also the move bishop f5, but then there's queen b3. So there is some bit of preparation here. Bishop f4, we are in London territory. c5 played. And now e3. Just building this London system. Nice triangle. And Gukesh, who is at 155, takes 16 minutes to play knight c6. Maybe he was wondering whether he should keep the knight here, play something else, play bd6 directly, knight d2. And now this move bishop e7, a slightly subtle move. For example, if you play bishop d3, I'm pretty sure he wants to go knight to h5. And there's no bishop g5. So h3, making a square for the bishop to drop back. But now Gukesh goes bishop d6. And his point is that earlier, if you went bishop d6, you go bishop g3 and you take with the h pawn. But with h3 already played, this might not be feasible. But Vincent takes on c5. Bishop takes c5. The bishop went to e7, then d6, now c5. Bishop d3 played. White is now angling for the e4 break. Castles, and I think white will also castle. And for black now, one of the moves is bishop d6, dropping back rook e8 with the idea of e5 makes a lot of sense. And Vincent can now break in the center with pawn to e4. A good move. And the thing is, if you take here and something like this is already very pleasant for white. So Gukesh rightly pushes his pawn forward and Vincent moves his bishop to pin the knight. And now d4 played. This is a very, very good move. Very interesting move. I mean, logically, Gukesh may want to go bishop e6, which is simpler, but I think here there is something deep. Bishop d6. Very nice. Actually, if bishop b6, then after pawn takes, and rook e1, this is a very good position for white. So, bishop d6, a good move, takes. And now, ed4. And here's the point. Why can't Vincent take this pawn? Well, that's because Gukesh has the move h6. This is a beautiful move that Gukesh has. I mean, first take on d4. So he takes, knight takes, d4, and h6. And that makes it really, really cool, because if bishop h4, there is g5. And if bishop f6, queen f6, great compensation. So he goes bishop e3 back. But here's the point. You can take here. Take, knight b5, bishop e7. It's a playable position. It's a fighting position. I wonder what Gukesh missed. He goes bishop e5. And this is a mistake. This is a big mistake. Because now Vincent can go knight f3. And this is fantastic. Because the bishop is attacked. You have to take on b2. Yes, you get back your pawn. But after rook b1, the bishop is a bit offside. I mean, if you go back, I'm already going bishop b5. Very weird positioning of black pieces. And queen b3, white's position is flowing. Has freedom, development, rook d1. Black's pieces are a little bit passive. Bishop f8. And a good move now is rook to d1. If bishop e6, I chop the pawn on b7. But bishop c4. This does give a small chance to Gukesh, because it attacks f7. He can just defend it with bishop e6. Yes, he plays his bishop to e6. And Vincent can't take here. The bishop is hanging. So first take the bishop. First he attacks the queen. The queen is attacked. Queen c8. And somehow Gukesh has managed to get a position which is fine. His pieces are coming out. And Gukesh gets up. Bishop takes e6. Should you take with the rook or the queen? If you take with the queen, there's e5. So rook takes makes sense. And now e5. Pawn pushing forward. Good move. And knight e4. Now looking for some tricks with knight c3 fork. If you take queen b7, there's knight c3. Black is in fact winning here. So rook c1 first, attacking the queen, and the best move is knight c5. Because if you went queen d7, queen b7, and white is just winning. So knight c5, good move. It seems like you're going to get pinned brutally, but I can just play b6 and you don't have anything to attack the bishop. So queen takes b7 makes sense. You do lose a key pawn, but somehow this does remind me a bit about like the Berlin, where the pawn on e5 is sometimes worse. Black can play around it. So rook c8 played. Threatening bishop f2, king f2, and rook c1. So rook c2 defending. And rook ec6. The bishop, I mean, if you get bishop b6 and trade off the rooks, rook entering in, black should be completely fine. So Vincent takes the d file. He wants to get in his rook to d7, where it could get really nasty. And Gukesh goes rook b6. There was also possible to go this way when you trade off everything, I think. Maybe bishop takes and then come back. And with one rook, it's difficult to create play. But rook b6, rook d7, check, king h2. And maybe rook f1, creating some counterplay on f2. Gukesh down to 5 minutes. We are on move 32. Vincent has 23 minutes. He goes king g3, and now a key moment actually. I think bishop b6 makes sense. And then rook c6 here. He does play bishop c6. Rook comes back. And now Gukesh has enough counterplay. It seems like he's managed to get out of the woods. And he's pawn down, but his pieces are so active. His bishop, rook, everyone's functioning well. Knight d4, you have a chance to actually go into this double rook endgame, which may not be so bad, but rook g6. In fact, rook c4 was even stronger. But check, king h2. And I don't know if taking here should be prioritized by Gukesh. He goes rook g5, and this is perhaps not a good move because he's misplacing his rooks right now. And if white gets something like f4, knight to c6, yeah, he goes back, and you can see that white is now starting to move ahead. Maybe knight f5. He goes g3 first with the idea of king g2. And now maybe taking here is also not such a great idea. 38 moves have been completed. Gukesh looking up on the screen. When does the increment kick in? After 2 moves, Gukesh, you have 1 minute 44 seconds to play through it. King g2. And now rook to c4. Putting pressure here. Knight f5. And rook e6. Maybe rook d7 with the idea of knight d6 could be an idea. f4 played. And h5. He pushes his pawn forward. And rook to d7. Ooh, nice move. Knight d6 coming in. Pressure. Rook c3. There is some pressure on g3. Knight to e7. King f8. He goes, well, knight d5. And you know, if the rook comes here, there could be mates. Knight is attacking the rook. He goes king e8 even. I mean, if you take here, he would love to take this. So rook takes a7. Rook takes g3, because if you had taken this rook, I would have taken this back. So first, it's like this desperado. And Vincent is writing his moves. Gukesh is not, because till 5 minutes, you have to write your moves. Gukesh is down to 48 seconds. Vincent has 5 minutes 58. Bishop takes a7. And now rook c3, rook c2. Extra pawn, knight dominating, king coming up, pawn pushing forward. Too many things working here for Vincent. Gukesh is utterly lost. Bishop g1 and f5 played. Rook at 6. And now rook g2 with the idea of picking this pawn up. He goes here. If bishop d4, then king e4 attacks and defends. So bishop goes back to c5. And rook takes g7. He takes the pawn. King f8 and f6 works. Boom. He pushes it forward and it's losing in all sorts of ways. The a pawn is rushing forward and Gukesh resigns. Vincent Keymer scores his first ever classical win against Gukesh. And I think that was a happy result. And just to show how good of friends Vincent and Gukesh are, Gukesh discusses the position with him. And I think somehow Vincent played so well today. I think Gukesh also did not have much chances there in the game. And with this win, Vincent actually moves on to 8.5 points. 5 draws, so 5 points there because of all losses in Armageddon. And now 8 points for him. And he's getting back into this tournament after a win in Bucharest before this. Will he manage to win this one as well? We'll see. But excellent play. And Gukesh needs to make a comeback in this tournament. With 4 rounds to go, it'll be interesting to see. Meanwhile, we'll also follow the trajectory of Vincent Keymer. Both the players went out and Gukesh even did an interview. So did Vincent. And we bring that all to you after this video. So do check it out.
Can you tell us how the game went for you?
Yeah, I think I just blundered the d4 pawn here because I must that after h6 against the bishop e3 and I cannot take on e4. After that it was just very unpleasant. Probably in the end I had some chances to draw, but yeah, it was always tricky. I think. Yeah, instead of d4 maybe I should have just gone bishop e7 or something. But yeah.
And this scoring system that we had with the victory can get 3 points. It's still so much chances for the player. Do you think about these kind of things when you are playing games or you're just focused?
I think it's still too early to think about this techniques. Yeah. Still 4 more games, so let's see.
Yeah, best of luck. We met last year. So token of luck from my side. This is my side. Can I have a photograph with you? Best of luck for future, Gukesh. Have a nice day.
Vincent, congrats on beating the world champion and first classical win here in Norway Chess. How are you feeling?
Quite good. I mean, I did feel like I had too many chances not to win one, and today it finally worked. Also, it was a rather clean game compared to the others. Not that it was perfect, but still a lot less grave mistakes than usual.
And Gukesh mentioned in the confession room that he could not remember this line and he played bishop e7, which he faced once as white. How was the preparation for you today?
Basically, I checked most main lines and realized that it's all like too many good options for black, and felt okay for today. I'm just gonna play third move c3, just get a game, and that was more or less it. And we got a game. That's pretty much it worked out. Yeah.
And do you think bishop e5 was the start of his troubles for him?
Sorry, which move?
A bishop e5?
Actually, I felt that at this point it was already unpleasant. I assume knight e4 is the engine's choice, but like I was already happy with that position from a human point of view. It might be that engines disagree, but during the game I was already quite happy.
And you have like 5 Armageddon losses. You know, it was how special does this classical win mean to you?
Yeah, it's nice because I mean, if you count 5 draws against this opposition, it would be not so bad. But having lost every single Armageddon, that kind of you leave the day with a bitter taste every single time. So it has been not so easy. Even though, you know, I came with very good spirits from Bucharest, but still it kind of nagged. So of course finally winning a game is important.
And you've worked with Gukesh for the World Championship. Does that give you a little, you know, insight about how he's thinking, or it doesn't, you know?
I guess a little, but I mean, I've played so many games against most of these players here that I know them quite well anyway. And as of openings, you could tell by the fact that we both here played against each other some just playable positions that it doesn't matter too much.
Great win today against Gukesh, Vincent, and all the very best for the rest of the rounds.
Thank you.
Vincent Keymer.